A very good morning to all the participants. Welcome to day one of 5-day online workshop on eYantra Spark5 Robotics. Today, I'll be discussing on Spark5 Robotics hardware and software. I am Rohit K, Assistant Professor and eYantra Robotics and Embedded Systems Lab Coordinator, ECE VVCE Mysuru. Before I begin my session, I have few instructions for all the participants. Firstly, I request all the participants to mute their audio and turn off their video so that we can save our bandwidth and have smooth communication. Secondly, we have participants from 2nd SEM, 4th SEM, 6th SEM, as well as 8th SEM. So in some of the slides, I may be slow for catering to the needs of 2nd SEM students. So higher semester students, kindly bear with me. And lastly, I want a lot of interaction from the participants. So since this is a workshop, unlike other webinars, so I'll be asking questions for you guys, and if you have any doubts, you can share your doubts or questions in the chat box. We will be replying and reading your messages in the chat box, so that would be convenient to interact. Okay, so let me begin my session. So the contents of my presentation are: first we'll look into what is robot and what is robotics, then what are the types of robots and their applications. Then we'll look into what is eYantra, what are the benefits that you can get out of eYantra workshops, and so on, and what are the eYantra robots we have. Then we'll discuss about Spark5 robot hardware, followed by software tools, and I'll discuss about input-output ports configuration with the help of examples. Then I'll also be giving you demo on the software tools that we'll be using, and at the end we'll have a quiz and Q&A session. Okay, so first and foremost, let us look at the definition of robot. So before I go to the definition of robot, I want answers from you guys. I believe all of you might have heard about the term robot or robotics. Tell me in the chat box, what do you understand by the term robot? So you can give your answers in the chat box. Tell me whatever you know about robot. Do you think robot is a toy, whatever it is? So I'm waiting for your answers. You can give your answers in the chat box. What is robot according to you? Okay, Rakshita R says that it is a machine, correct? Yes, robot is a machine. Then Rundas Satish says that which can be programmed and can do complex tasks. That's right. Yes, good. Any other answers? Okay, Yashaswini says that anything that makes our work easy. Exactly. So let us look at what are the standard definitions we have for robot. So what is a robot? The origin of the word robot goes back to 1920, wherein the Czech playwright Karel Apek introduced the word robot. It means forced labor in Czech. It was introduced in his play called Rosomovi Univerzalni Roboti, which means Rosom's Universal Robots in English. That was the first time the word robot was used, and we have many standard definitions that are accepted. A robot is an autonomous machine capable of sensing its environment, carrying out computations to make decisions, and performing actions in the real world. A robot can be considered as a reprogrammable multifunctional manipulator designed to move material, parts, tools, or specialized devices through various programmed motions for the performance of variety of tasks. Or simply put, a robot is a machine, especially one programmable by a computer, capable of carrying out complex series of actions automatically. And what is robotics? Robotics is an interdisciplinary sector of science and engineering dedicated to design, construction, and use of mechanical robots. Or it can also be referred to as a subdomain of engineering and science that includes mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer science, and others. Okay, so that's about what is robot and robotics. Now let us look at types of robots and their application areas. These are the two terms that we hear nowadays, robots and bots. So robots are basically programmable machines that can automatically execute actions, whereas bots are programs that automatically execute actions. A robot is one which has a physical body, which has both hardware and software, whereas bots have only program, a software, a piece of software code. It does not have any physical body. Examples of robots are androids, cyborgs, industrial robots, which has both hardware and software. Bots have only software, such as chatbots, chatbots, spiders. Okay. Other applications of robots are in aerospace industry. It can be used in consumer industries for toy robot, can be used in disaster response management for rescue missions. It can be used as drones in militaries. It can be used as drones in marriage functions. It can be used as drones for delivery of goods from one place to another place. It can be used in education sector. It can be used in entertainment structure domain. It is used as exoskeletons for the people who are severely injured. It can be used as humanoids. It can be used in industries, in medical field, surgical robots, and in military, security, and research applications. Robots are also used in self-driving cars. A lot of companies are investing heavily on these self-driving cars. It is also used in telepresence, particularly in this COVID-19 pandemic situation. They are also used in underwater applications. More so in the COVID-19 pandemic situation we are in, robots are used extensively in the hospitals for moving the equipments from one place to another place. They are used to give sanitizers to the patients who are coming in. They are used to give medicines, deliver medicines from one place to another place. They are used to deliver food to the patients who are in quarantine or isolation. They are used to interact with the patients. They are extensively used in restaurants for delivery of food. They are also used as a domestic help in home. The robots are also used by companies such as Amazon and FedEx for the delivery of their goods, delivery of their food items. Robots are also extensively used in space exploration applications such as Mangalyaan, Chandrayaan. They are also used in underwater applications, you can see. And if I talk about robotics market in 2014, it was estimated that by 2025, robotics market will be around $67 billion. But by 2017, they have revised the estimation and they are now predicting that more than $87 billion will be the market of robot by 2025. The latest data say that more than $120 billion will be the robotics market industry by 2025. And if you look at the consumer applications, it has grown in the estimate by 156%, and this estimate will continue to grow. And when we talk about robotics, we also should talk about automation. When the automation takes over the low-level jobs, mid-level jobs, particularly in the fields such as transportation, storage, manufacturing, wholesale and retail industry, everything will be automated. And you can see here by 2037, around 50% of the jobs, mid-level and low-level jobs in these domains will be automated. Thus, as budding engineers, you have to upskill your knowledge level so that you can be on par with the automation era. The reason why a lot of robots are used in industries is because of declining of robot prices and labors being costlier. And if you look at the world scenario, a lot of countries have already begun using robots in their manufacturing industries. Slovakia uses around 58% of industrial automation, United States 53%, UK 47%, Japan 32%, South Korea 31%, and some other countries here. World average is around 8.5%. India is yet to figure here, but sooner or later, India will definitely figure here, and you can cash in if you have the knowledge required to survive in this field. And another estimation says that around 73 million jobs will be lost in US by 2030. And if you look at Indian scenario, around 120 million jobs may be lost due to automation. So if you learn the concept of automation, robotics, if you update yourself with the latest technologies, you can ensure that you grow with this technology at least for the next 2 to 3 decades to come, which will have a lot of boom. Then nowadays, all of us hear about these terms such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, data science, and all. All these technologies can be integrated into robotics. One classic example is self-driving. Lot of artificial intelligence. There are so many sensors connected to it. So IoT, Internet of Things, will come into picture, and a lot of intelligence is embedded into the self-driving cars, and this will be the future. Already, a lot of top companies are investing heavily on the self-driving cars. For example, Tesla, Volvo, Audi, Uber, Jaguar, many of these companies are here investing heavily on self-driving cars. So if you have the skills to survive or be in this particular domain, the future is very bright. Okay. So that's about robotics and their future perspective. Here focus is on eYantra and how to use eYantra platform to build innovative projects. So eYantra is basically an initiative by IIT Bombay under Ministry of Human Resource Development to set up robotics laboratories across the country to promote deeper understanding of embedded systems among student community. And VVCE Mysuru is the Mysore Regional Zonal Center for eYantra robotics activities. And these are the glimpses of robots that we have with us. And what do we do under eYantra banner? We conduct timely workshops for our students. And after the workshops, the students take part in various competitions. They do various mini projects, and they take part in a lot of competitions. We have many competitions happening around the year. Two important competitions are eYantra Idea Generation Competition. So if you win in this competition, you will get to win 4 lakh rupees cash prize. Along with that, you will also get internship in IIT Bombay, so which is going to be very, very beneficial for your career. Another competition is eYantra Robotics Competition, which is an annual competition. It will be launched in the month of August every year. So next month, 2020-21 competition will come out. So you can take part in this competition. And if you win in this competition, you can get around 4,50,000 cash prize. Along with that, you can also get a chance to do internship in IIT Bombay. Along with this, there is also something called eYantra Farm Setup Initiative, wherein you can use farming sector and increase the yield by using technology. And like this, there are so many competitions in which you can take place. So under eYantra workshops, what do we do and what are the expected outcomes? First, in stage 1, we are in stage 1. In stage 1, we conduct eYantra Spark 5 robotics workshop, that is the beginner's workshop. After this workshop, you can take part in eYantra idea generation competitions. You will be capable of doing some mini projects and some major projects. In stage 2, we will be conducting advanced eYantra Spark 5 robotics workshop, which will have much more complexity. Then we'll be conducting a workshop on Firebird 5 robot. After this, you can take part in eYantra idea generation competition, eYantra robotics competition, and you will be capable of doing many major projects or final year projects. And in stage 3, we'll be doing advanced workshop on Firebird 5 robot. advanced workshop, we will also be teaching you how to integrate third-party software such as OpenCV, MATLAB, etc. After this, you'll be capable of taking part in competitions and winning the competitions, and you can do complex major projects. So this is the plan we have. So stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And ultimately, if you become a good robotics engineer, you can get job as a embedded software engineer or embedded hardware engineer. You can also go to a specific coding sector, hardware sector, or robotics field, because you'll have the skill set to prosper in that particular field. Okay. Now coming to Yantra robots, we have two variants of robots with us, Spark 5 and Firebird 5. Firebird 5 is the slightly advanced version. So using Firebird 5, we can build a tanker, a omnidirectional robot, a gripper, a hexapad, or an insect. And Firebird 5 has options to use various microcontrollers, Atmega, or you can use RD2 or LPC2148 based on the complexity and application of your desire. But in this workshop, our focus is on this is also a powerful robot on which you can build a lot of projects. So our focus will be on Spark 5 robot. So coming to the hardware of Spark 5 robot, this is the block diagram of a Spark 5 robot. In the heart of Spark 5 robot, we have Atmega 16 microcontroller, which is a 8-bit microcontroller. We communicate with Atmega 16 microcontroller via USB communication. We also have an option to communicate with microcontroller via a wireless module, that is Zigbee 2.4 GHz wireless module. Then we have a variety of sensors which is acting as input to the microcontroller, such as sharp IR sensor, 3 white line sensors, optional ultrasonic range sensors, analog IR proximity sensors. We have dual motor drivers, each connected to right and left motors. Then we have a servo header, LCD, buzzer, switch, battery charger, and NIMH battery, nickel metal hydrate battery, which is a rechargeable battery. Coming to the features of Atmega 16, as I said, it is a 8-bit advanced RISC machine. Its crystal frequency is at 7.3728 megahertz, and it has 40 pins. The operating voltage is from 2.7 to 5.5. This is the variant of Atmega we are going to use, and it has 32 input-output pins. These 32 input-output pins are used for. It has 4 ports. Each port is of 8-bit size. Port A, Port B, Port C, and Port D. We can communicate with our microcontroller either by using JTAG, serial peripheral interface, USART, or 2-wire serial interface. Then it also has an inbuilt ADC module which accepts 8-channel analog inputs. We can get maximum resolution of 10-bit. ROM storage is 1 kilobytes. EEPROM is 512 bytes, and it can be operated in 6 power saving modes. We will be focusing on using power saving mode. Okay. That's about the features of Atmega 16. Coming to the layout view of Spark 5 robot, this is the top level layout view of Spark 5 robot. So here you can see this is Atmega 16 microcontroller. I'll be touching upon some important components. And here we have a power switch. This is the power charging socket, USB connector. These two are the geared DC motors attached to wheels. Then we have IR proximity sensor 1, proximity sensor 2 and 3. Then ultrasonic range detector sensors 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Then this is the bottom view of a Spark 5 robot. At the bottom, you can see we have 3 white line sensors. In the 3 white line sensor, this acts like a transmitter. Another LED acts like a detector. So one is the transmitting LED, another is photodiode for reception. Then we have 3 proximity sensors, IR proximity sensor 3, 2, and 1. Then this is the rechargeable batteries that we have. Coming to the software tools, We have options to use AVR Studio or Atmel Studio. Both are integrated development environment. They are basically used to write our program or codes in C or C++ language. And the output of this IDE is going to be .x file, which we are going to download onto our microcontroller. Out of these two IDEs, we will be using Atmel Studio because Atmel Studio has IntelliSense and it is user friendly. It also gives suggestions on what are the possible options we have, and we will be sticking on to Atmel Studio. Another software tool is AVR Bootloader. This is used for programming and reprogramming the target device, that is AVR microcontroller, via USB cable. So using this programmer, we are going to dump .x file onto the microcontroller. Now let us look at the process flow of how this is going to happen. The microcontroller or the processor or the DSPs of the world that we know operates on binary data. So all these processors can operate and process only on binary data, but we as a coder or programmer use high level languages such as C programming for coding. So we write our code in C program using IDEs such as Atmel Studio, and then we'll compile it and we will get .x file which can be easily transformed to binary, and using AVR bootloader we'll be downloading that to our microcontroller via USB cable or Wi-Fi cable or serial cable. So this is the process flow. This is the another diagram showing written in Atmel Studio IDE. So we'll write it and we'll compile this. After compilation, the IDE is going to give a .x file, and using AVR bootloader programmer, we are going to download that onto our targeted microcontroller. In our case, it is Atmega 16. Okay. Coming to C program skeleton, case 1. This is the skeleton of basic C program. I believe all of you might have learned C programming at some stage of your career. So this is a simple C program. Hash include stdio.h is the preprocessor directive. Then we have our main function. So for our convenience, what we are going to do is we are going to divide this C program into two segments. I'm going to call this hash include stdio.h as the header files, and this is our main function. I'm going to call that as main function or main. Okay. Next, case 2. I have a program here. I want you to go through this program and tell me what is the objective of this program. You can give your comments on the chat box. So just go through this program and tell me what is the objective of this program, or what does this program do. Yeah. You can give your answers in the chat box. Yes, Brunda Satish says that to find sum of two number. Okay, Vishal says that it is for addition of two numbers. Okay, Manjunath says that it is to find sum of two numbers. That's correct. So this program is written to add two numbers. So here we have header files. Then this is the function for computing addition. Then this is our main program. So here you can see we have three sections or three segmentations: header files, then action function, then main program. Okay. Now, before I proceed, what did we do in case 1 and case 2? Case 1 and case 2 is the classic examples of C programming that you probably would have studied so far. And in case 1 and case 2, we will be running these programs on a computer system which has a generic compiler. But here in SparkFire robot, we have a specific target system, that is Atmega 16. This Atmega 16 is not generic, it is a specific microcontroller. Thus, we need to have certain ports for inputting the data and outputting the data. And we can understand these ports and we can code it. So first, let us look at the pin diagram and what are the ports inside this Atmega 16 microcontroller. This is the schematic diagram of Atmega 16 microcontroller. And here you can see that we have 8 pins in port A. Similarly, we have 8 pins in port B. and 8 pins in port C and 8 pins in port D. Okay, so if I want to write something, read something from the microcontroller, I have to do it via these ports only. Okay, you can see the arrow mark of these ports. Some of the arrow marks are coming inwards, some are going outwards. It means they are either input or output. Some pins are bidirectional. It can be used as input or output. And what are the other important features of Atmega microcontroller? I have already told you that it has 4 input output ports. Each is of 8-bit size, and we have 4 ports: port A, port B, port C, and port D. And Atmega microcontroller has a operating frequency of 7.3728 megahertz. Okay. Now, what are these ports? What is the meaning of these ports? These ports are basically junctions where peripheral devices are connected. And these peripheral devices can be input devices such as switch, sensors, etc. and output devices such as buzzer, LCD, motors, LED, etc. Okay, so these input output devices are connected to ports. So if I want to read something from the sensors or from the switch, I'll be making use of ports. If I want to write something to the LCD or buzzer or motor or LED, again I'll be making use of ports. Okay, so coming to case 3, here we will have 4 segments. First is header file, next is pin configuration and initialization, third is functions, fourth is main program. So as of now, you need not worry about the complexity of the program. Here, your focus should be to understand the structure of the program that we are going to use in our SparkFi robot. So the structure of our robot program will have 4 segments: header files, pin configuration, functions, and main program. Fundamentally, these 3 segments are functions, but for the convenience of our organization, what we have done is we have broken this into different labels, and we are going to stick to this particular skeleton. Okay, so we will be explaining each lines step by step as we proceed, but at this point of time we want you to remember this, that there are 4 segments that we will be using in our program: header files, followed by pin configuration and initialization, then functions, and at the end main program. Okay, so in case 1 and case 2, we had considered a conventional C program, and this was written for a computer console which has generic compiler. In case 3, we had considered a specific system, that is Atmega 16, which is a targeted system, and here we are going to use cross compiler. Okay. And here, since we are focusing on a targeted system, which is an embedded system, the programming label or the programming that we are going to do here is labeled as embedded C programming. Even though it is fundamentally C programming, since we are writing this program for a embedded system, we refer the term embedded C programming. Okay, so that's about the difference between conventional C program and embedded C program. Okay, so the skeleton that we are going to use is this: header files, pin configuration and initialization, functions, and at the end main program. Okay, I hope it is clear till now. This is the structure that we are going to use. Moving on, you can see I've put 5-star marks, which indicates that this is extremely important to understand, because if we do not know how to configure our input or output ports, we will not be able to interact with the outside world. Okay. For accessing the ports, okay, so before I proceed, let me take up the question. Yeah, Brunda Satish is asking, what is a cross compiler? A cross compiler is a compiler that is used for a specific target system. A generic compiler is one that is used for a generic console system such as computer. Okay, so when we talk about a specific microcontroller, we use the term cross compiler. It means that compiler is designed for that particular microcontroller. Okay, I hope it is clear to you now what is the meaning of cross compiler. Now coming back to the difference between coming back to what is input and output and how to configure it. So for accessing our ports, we'll be using 3 registers. First is DDRX, second is port X, and third is pin X. And here X can be either A or B, C or D. As I already told you in the previous slides, we have 4 ports: port A, port B, port C, and port D. So the value or the label of X here can be either A, B, C or D. Okay. Now first let us understand what is DDR. DDRX register. DDR is nothing but data direction register, and its purpose is to set port pins as input or output. If DDRX is 0, if I send 0 to DDRX, the port will be defined as input. If I send DDRX is equal to 1, that port will be defined as output. Okay, so if I send 0, it will be configured as input. If I send 1, it will be configured as output. Let us understand this with the help of a couple of examples. So example 1, for port B, we should make upper nipple as output and lower nipple as input. So as I already told you in the previous slides, all our ports are of 8-bit size. So we'll have 8 bits or 8 pins. And here we need to make upper nipple as output. So let us see what is upper nipple and lower nipple. So the pins from D0 to D3 or 0 to 3 is considered as lower nipple, and pins from 4 to 7 is considered as upper nipple. Now what is our objective? Our objective is to make upper nipple as output. That means what should I do? For pin 7, 6, 5 and 4, I should send 1, and for pin 3, 2, 1 and 0, I should send 0. So I'll be sending 4 ones and 4 zeros. Now, what is the corresponding hexadecimal equivalent value for this? 1111 in hexadecimal is F0000 in hexadecimal is 0. So if I want to configure my port B such that upper nipple is configured as output and lower nipple as input, I'll be sending or using the command DDRB 0x. 0x indicates it is hexadecimal number, and then F0. This is F, this is 0. Okay. Now I have another example and I want answers from your end. Okay, so in this example, we want to configure port B upper nipple as input and lower nipple as output. So tell me, what should I send to upper nipple? You can give your answers in the chat box. Yes. So Shiv Sagar says 0F. Brunda Satish says 0x, 0F. Anjana is saying 0x, 0F. Okay, good. So upper nipple should be configured as input. So I'll be sending 4 zeros. Lower nipple should be configured as output. So I'll be sending 4 ones. In hexadecimal, it is going to be 0F. So the command that I'm going to send is DDRB 0x0F. Okay, so at this point of time, if somebody has any doubts or not able to understand these two examples, you can comment in the chat box. I'll be happy to clarify this again, because this is extremely important to understand, because only when we are able to configure ports as input or output, we can go to studying from those ports either by writing or reading. So if you have any doubts, you can comment it in the chat box. Okay. So can I proceed? Is there any doubt? Okay, so let me proceed. So now I'll take up the next register, that is port X register. The purpose of this port X register is to write data to port pins. Before writing the data to port, it must be configured as output port using DDRX register. Only when a port is configured as output port, then we can go about writing data to that particular port. So let me consider a very small example. Here I have written DDRA is equal to 0xFF. When I say FF, what does that mean? All the pins of port A are configured as output, And now if I type port A is equal to 0xF0, the data F0 is written to the port A register. Okay, so here I've configured port A as output, and here I've written the data F0 to my port A. Okay, let us understand this with the help of an example. So here first we should make port A as output, then we should write data 1010 in hexadecimal, it is A, to upper nibble, and 1111 to lower nibble. Okay, now first and foremost, what is the command we should be writing? We should make port A as output. To make port A as output, what is the command that I should be typing? Yes, anyone? What is the command that I should be typing to make port A as output? DDRA is equal to what should I write? DDRA is equal to, I should make port A as output. So DDRA should be equal to 11111111 because the entire port A is configured as output. So it will be all ones. Yes. In hexadecimal, it is going to be FF. So I'll be writing the command DDRA is equal to 0xFF. When I do this, port A, all the pins of port A will be configured as output. Okay. Then what is the next step? We should write data 1010 and 1111 to upper nibble and lower nibble respectively. So if I want to do this, what is the command that I should be writing? What is the command I should be writing? Port A is equal to 0xAF, because 1010 is A in hexadecimal and 1111 is F in hexadecimal. So I'll be writing port A. Okay. I hope this example is clear to all of you. Next, I want answers from you in this particular example. So here we should make port A as output and write data 1011 to upper nibble and 0100 to lower nibble. Tell me what is the first command that I should write here to make port A as output. You can write it in the chat box. DDRA is equal to, what should I write? DDRA is equal to, you can give your answers in the chat box. DDRA, you should type the complete command. DDRA is equal to, yes, DDRA is equal to 0xFF. Very good. So we have quite a few answers. So first step is DDRA is equal to 0xFF. So first we have configured port A as output. Next we should write data to lower nibble, upper nibble and lower nibble. So I'll be writing 1011 to upper nibble and 0100 to lower nibble. So what is the next command that I should be writing to write the data? It is port A is equal to, what should I write? Port A is equal to, yes, port A is equal to, yes, port A is equal to 0xB4. We have answer from Karthik, Prakruti, Brunda. That's correct. So port A is equal to 0xB4. So this command will configure port A as output, and this command will write the data B4 to port A. Okay. Moving on, now we'll discuss the concept of masking in this example. So pay attention, this is very, very important, particularly in the programs. So in this example, we should make port B pins 7 to 4, that is upper nibble as input, and pins 3 to 0 as output. Okay. Then write the data 0101 to lower nibble without disturbing upper nibble contents. Okay. So what is the first step that we should be doing? The first step is to configure port B. So port B upper nibble should be configured as input and lower nibble should be configured as output. So what is the command that I should be typing here? Yes, you can give your answers. Yes, it is DDRB is equal to 0x0f. Yes, Brunda Satish has given the answer. Okay, and I have answers, some more answers. DDRB is equal to 0x0f. So by doing this, we would have configured port B upper nipple as input and lower nipple as output. Next, we should write 0101 to lower nipple, but without disturbing upper nipple content. So let us see how we can do this. So this is my port B. If I write say 00000101 by typing port B as 0x05, what will happen? I am sending 0101 to lower nipple. Along with this, I am also sending zeros to upper nipple. When I do this, I'll be violating this statement, that is without disturbing upper nipple. Thus, I cannot write this command. What should I do? I can use another command called port B is equal to port B OR of 05. When I write this command, I will not be disturbing the upper nipple contents, and I'll be writing my data only to the lower nipple. And this is performed by using logical OR operation. So let us discuss how exactly this command is working and how we are not violating this statement. So before I go to the discussion for refreshment of your memories, I have put this truth table. If somebody has forgotten OR gate or AND gate truth table, so you can refresh your memory. So OR gate and then AND gate. I believe all of you have very good memories. Okay, so I'll proceed. So here, this is what we are trying to do. Now I'm bringing in a new condition, that is, suppose we have some data 1010 on pin 7 to 4, that is in the upper nipple, and we want to write 0101 to the lower nipple. So we are yet to write this. Already some data is there in the upper nipple, that is 1010. Okay, now what is the current status of port B? The current status or the data that is inside port B is A00x A0, because 1010 is A in hexadecimal. Now observe, when I write port B is equal to OR of 05, 05 is the data that I want to write to lower nipple. When I type this command, what is going to happen is, currently inside port B I have A0. I'll perform OR operation with 05. I'll perform OR operation with 05. When I perform OR operation with 05, what is the result that I am going to get? So 1, 1, 1, 1. So the result will be this. Okay, the result will be this. And here you can see that we did not disturb the contents of upper nipple. The upper nipple contents were 1010. We have retained it as it is. We were able to successfully write the data to lower nipple. Now this is equal to A5, and this A5 will be stored in port B register. Is this clear? So in this way, by using OR operation, we can ensure that we do not change the contents of the pins that we do not wish to modify, and we can do alteration only to the bits that we wish to do by performing OR operation. Okay. So with that in mind, I have next example. I wish to get answers from the audience. So first step is make port A pin 7 to 4 as output and pin 3 to 0 as input. So if I want to do this, tell me what is the command that I am supposed to write. Port A pin 7 to 4 as output, 3 to 0 as input. What should I write? DDRA is equal to yes, Brunda Satish is very active, very good. So is 0xF0. Vishal has answered, it is 0F. Sunita has answered, so 0F. Sunita V has said 0F, that's correct. Okay. So first and foremost, this is what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to write DDRA is equal to 0xF0. Is it F0 or 0F? It is F0 because pin 7 to 4 is to be configured as output. That means I should give 4 ones. So I'll be sending F, and pin 3 to 0 is lower nipple, which should be configured as input. So I'll be sending 0. So the right answer is 0xF0. Okay. So now that we have configured the ports, next step is to write data 1010 to the upper nipple without disturbing the contents of lower nipple. Suppose we already have data 0101 in the lower nipple, that is 3 to 0, and we want to write 1010 to upper nipple. So currently the data that is inside port A is 05. Now tell me what should be the command that I should give to ensure that the contents of lower nipple is not disturbed, but we are able to write 1010 to upper nipple. So you can type in your answers in the comment box. What should I write as the command? Port A is equal to port A is equal to port A or operation with A0, because A should be written to upper nipple. Pin number 7 to 4 constitutes to upper nipple. So I'll be performing OR operation with A0. Already port A contents is 05. When I perform OR operation with A0, I will not be disturbing the contents of the lower nipple, and I'll be able to write A to upper nipple. Let us see how this works. So currently inside port A, what is the data we have? 05. So this is 0, 0101 is 5. Now I need to perform OR operation with A0. When I perform OR operation with A0, what is the answer I'm going to get? This is 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. What is the answer I'm going to get? You can give your answers in the chat box. After performing OR operation, what is the data we are going to get? 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. So what is the equivalent hexadecimal value? It is 1010, 0101. In hexa it is, yes, very good. It is A5. This A5, Anjana has given the answer, Prakruti has given the answer, Rakshita has given the answer. So it is 0xA5, and this 0xA5 will now be stored inside port A. Okay. Is this clear? The concept of masking and the concept of using OR operation to ensure that we do not alter the bits specified and write data only to the bits that we wish to write. Okay, so that's about OR operation. Moving on, we have example 7, and here we should make port C pins 7 to 4 as input and 3 to 0 as output. Then we will see how to set and reset. I need answers for this. We should make port C pin 7 to 4 as input and 3 to 0 as output. Tell me what is the command that I should write to make this happen. DDRC is equal to what is the command to make pins input? For making pins as input, we will write 0. For making pins as output, we will write 1. So the command that we will be writing is DDRC is equal to 0x0f. Very good. So we have answers from Karthik, Brunda, Satish, Vishal, Sunita, Deepika, CR. Very good. So that is the command we will be writing. DDRC is equal to 0x0f. Okay. Now we have configured the port. Next step is to continuously set and reset lower nipple without disturbing upper nipple contents. Suppose the upper nipple contents are 0101 already, and we want to set and reset. Let us see how we can do that. So already the contents of upper nipple is 0101, this one, and assume that initially the contents of lower nipple is 0. So this corresponds to data of 50. Okay, so this is the data currently present inside port C. Now our objective is to set and reset the lower nipple without disturbing upper nipple. Okay, so what is the meaning of set? The meaning of set is to make that particular bit 1 or high. So what is the command that I should be giving to set the lower nipple. I need to set the lower nipple. Tell me what is the command that I should type. You can give your answers in the chat box. This hint is this involves OR operation. So we should type port C is equal to port C. Yes, Brunda Satish has given the answer. Port C is equal to port C OR of 0F. Okay. What about others? Can I have some more answers? My objective is to ensure that I do not disturb the upper nipple contents and I should make lower nipple contents as 1. A hint is I'll be using OR operation. So I can write port C is equal to port C OR with 0F. Why did I write 0F? Because 0 constitutes to upper nipple, F constitutes to lower nipple. Since our goal is to set lower nipple, I'll be writing 0F. When I write 0F, 0 which constitutes to upper nipple will not be disturbed because we are performing OR operation. And when I write F to lower nipple, all the bits of lower nipple will become 1. So this is how it is going to happen. Currently inside port C, we have this data 50. When I perform OR operation with 0F, tell me what is the answer I am going to get. When I perform OR operation with 0F, the answer that I am going to get is 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So in hexadecimal, it is Anjana J has given the answer, Prakruti Vishal has given the answer. It is 5F. That's correct. So this 5F will ensure that lower nipples are set, and this 5F is now stored inside port C. Okay. Now we have only achieved 50% of our objective. That is, we have set the lower nipple. Next step is to reset the lower nipple. Okay. Now before we proceed, keep this in mind. What is the data present inside port C now? The data present inside port C is 5F now. Okay, so keep that in mind. So continuing, this is our goal. So currently the data inside our port C is 5F. Now our objective is to make sure that lower nipple is reset. That means lower nipple should become 0. Now the contents of this port is 5F and I want to make lower nipple as 0. Tell me what is the command that I should use. You can type your answers. Yes. So I can use AND operation here. So I'll be typing port C is equal to port C AND of 0x F0. Why should I write F0? Because I do not wish to alter the contents of upper nipple, but I wish to make the lower nipple contents as 0. So when I perform AND operation, what is happening is this F constitutes to upper nipple, so this is not disturbed, and this 0 constitutes to lower nipple, so this will become 0. Okay, so currently inside port C, the data is 5F, and I'll be performing AND operation with F0. When I perform AND operation, what is going to happen here? 0 into 1 is 0, 1 into 1 is 1, 0 into 1 is 0, 1 into 1 is 1, and here probably would have listed. Because 5F means it should be all ones. So this is 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah. So 5F is currently present in port C. I'll perform AND operation with F0. After performing AND operation, the result that I'm going to get is 0, 1, 0, 1, all zeros. And if I convert this into hexadecimal, what is the answer? The answer is 5C. Now you can see lower nipples are reset and the data 50, the data 50 will now be moved to port C and the process continues. So that's about the process of using AND operation. OR operation is used for writing one. AND operation is generally used for setting and resetting. Okay. Now moving on to next example, I want answers for this example completely from your side. So in this example, first make port D pins 7 to 4 as output and 3 to 0 as input. Tell me what is the command that I should be typing to make this happen. Port D pin 7 to 4 as output and 3 to 0 as input. Can I have answers from other participants also? Yes. Okay, Kulsam Jagat says that it is 0x F0. Very good. Then Riteshwar, Prakruti, yes. Okay, Sunita, okay, Rachana, 0x F0. Okay, very good. That's right. So we should, I request you to give me complete command. I know F0 is the right answer, 0x F0. Since we are pushing this to port D, tell me what is the complete command that I should write. It is DDRD is equal to 0x F0, isn't it? It is DDRD is equal to 0x F0. Now we have successfully configured the pins as output and input. Now what is left is we should continuously set and reset upper nipple without disturbing the lower nipple contents. Assume that the lower nipple contents, that is in pin number 3 to 0, is 1100. Then we should go for setting and resetting. So at this point of time, the contents of my register are 4 zeros, 1100. This constitutes to hexadecimal value 0C. Now, what is the next step? I should set upper nipple without disturbing lower nipple. Now, to set upper nipple without disturbing lower nipple contents, what is the command that we should type? Yes, we have some answers. Port D is equal to port D or with F0, 0x F0. That's correct. So port D is equal to port D or with 0x F0. Why F0? Because our goal is to set upper nipple. So if I type F, all these bits will become 1. And if I send 0 here, the lower nipple contents will not be disturbed since I am performing OR operation. Okay. So let us see how this is happening. Currently inside port D, we have 0C. So this is 0, this is C. I'll be performing OR operation with F0. This is F, this is 0. After performing, this is the result that we are going to get. This is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. So what is the value, hexadecimal value that we are going to have inside port D after this operation? Can I have answers after this operation? What is the content inside port D? You can give your answers in the chat box. OR operation. After performing OR operation, what are we going to have? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. If you convert that into hexadecimal, yes, Jagat, Prakriti has given the answer. So if you convert that into hexadecimal, Sunita, Anjana, so answer will be FC. This FC will be moved to port D, and you can see here we have successfully made the, okay, it's not lower nipple, I think I forgot to think this. So it is upper nipple. We have successfully set upper nipple contents to 1. We are able to successfully set upper nipple contents to 1. And right now, what is the data that is present inside port D? It is F0. So please remember, the data that is present inside port D is now F0. We are now at this point, we have set the upper nipple. Next step is to reset the upper nipple. What is the data present inside port D now? It is FC. Okay, so moving on. So currently the data present inside port D is FC. Now our focus is to reset upper nipple. Okay, again without disturbing lower nipple. Now tell me what is the command that I should be typing. Port D is equal to, yes. So we have answers from Yashaswini, Brunda, Satish. Okay, can I have answers from some others? What is the command that I should give to ensure that the upper nipple is reset without disturbing lower nipple contents? So Vishal has given the answer. Okay, so Anjana, okay, that's right. So port D is equal to port D and with 0x0f. Why should I give 0f? Because I need to reset upper nibble. So if I give 0 here, all these contents will become 0. And if I give f here, this contents, lower nibble contents will not be disturbed. Let us see how this is happening. So currently the contents of port D is FC. I'll be performing AND operation with 0f. After performing AND operation, now tell me, after performing AND operation, what is the result inside port D in the hexadecimal format? It is going to be 0C, isn't it? Yes. This 0C will be moved to port D. Again, here we have reset upper nipple. So, pardon me, I forgot to change that. So now we have successfully reset the upper nipple contents, and this process continues. Okay, so the important point to carry forward is AND operation is used when we wish to reset something, or operation is used when we want to write something without disturbing the contents of other bits. Okay, so that's about example 8. So 0C. Next is PIN-X register. This PIN-X register is used to read the data from port pins. Suppose port A is configured as input port and the data received at the pins of port A is, say, F0. If I type DDREA as 0x00, what will happen? All the pins of port A will be configured as input. And if I write x is equal to pin A, x is a variable and the contents of port A will be loaded to the variable x. Now x will be equal to 0 xf0. Okay. Now we can use pin A or pin X, or we can also use port A in this place. Port A in this place. We will be using port A in all of our discussions. Pin A is particularly useful whenever we are doing experiments which has stringent time constraints. The difference between port A and pin A is the actual data that is latched on from the external world to the microcontroller. Port A is the data that has some delay. This is the unlatched delay. So for most of our applications, this will work. Only for some of the applications that requires very strict timing constraints, we'll be using pin A. For most other applications, we'll be using port A. Okay. So last couple of examples here, we need to make port D pins 7, 5, 3, 1 as inputs. So what is the command that we should be giving? You can type in the chat box. What should I do to ensure that I configure pin 7531 as input? DDRD is equal to, what should I write? DDRD is equal to pin 7, 5 should be made 0. So other pins, we don't know what we are supposed to do. So other pins also I'll retain as 0. So DDRD is equal to 0, 0. Now observe, now we need to make port D pins 6421 as output pins without disturbing other pins. Now, whenever you hear the term without disturbing other pins, you should recall that we should be using OR operation. So here, if I wish to make pin 6420 as 1, this is what I'll be sending. And what is the command that I should type here? Yes, please give your answers in the chat box. What is the command that I should be typing here? DDRD is equal to, what should be the command? DDRD is equal to, okay, DDRD is equal to, so, okay, many of you are giving it as 0xff. Okay, Ritesh has given the answer as DDRD is equal to DDRD R of 0x55. Okay, Prakriti is saying 0x55. Okay. Yes. So even though the data present here is 0x55, we are told that we should not disturb other pins. When we are told that we should not disturb other pins, invariably we should be using OR operation. So here I'll be writing the command as DDRD is equal to DDRD OR of 0x55. When I write this command, I'm ensuring that only the pins 6420 are made as output pins and remaining pins are not disturbed since I am performing OR operation. Okay. Shiv Sagar has given one more command, which is a left shift operation. That is also correct. Or we can perform a simple OR operation. We also use left shift operation in some specific experiments. That is also right. Okay. So that's about example 9. Now with this understanding, we have last example. I want you to give answers for this example. So in this example, you are supposed to make port B as input. So how do you make port B as input? What is the command that you will be using to make port B as input? It is DDRB is equal to 0x00. Very easy. Yes, that's right. Now we should make port B pin number 3 as output without disturbing other pins. This is our objective. Now, in order to accomplish this is what we should do. Only pin 3 should be made 1 and other pins or bits should not be disturbed. How can I ensure this? What is the command that I should be typing? Yes, G1 has given the answer for port configuration. That's right. Okay, now tell me what is the command that I should write in order to make port B pin number 3 as output pin without disturbing other pins. So what should be the command? DDRB is equal to yes, DDRB, sorry, yeah, port. No, we are not going to use port here because our focus is not on writing the data. Our focus is to configure the port as input or output. So when we want to configure it, port will not come into picture, DDR will come into picture. Yes. So we have answer from Rachna Kulsam. DDRB is equal to DDRB R of 0. Okay. Gunda Satish. Okay. Nirmala. Okay. Good. So the command that we are going to use is DDRB is equal to DDRD is equal to DDRD R with 0, 8. Very good. So that's about last example. Okay. Now let me give you a demo on how to use Atmel Studio and AVR bootloader. Okay. So at the end of the day, we will be sharing the links for downloading these softwares. You can start downloading these softwares and you can start practicing it in your home. But let me give the demo on how to use these two software tools now. So I have installed Atmel Studio 6. So click on Atmel Studio 6 after installation. It will take some time so that because it needs some time to load all the libraries of all the microcontrollers that are attached to this IDE. Okay, now once the window is open, go to File, New, go to File, New Project, File, New Project. Okay, here you have many options. You can select C executable project, you can select C++, or you can also write a code for library, etc. So we will be selecting GCC C executable project. Okay, so this is the compiler, and here let me browse, and so I have selected this folder day 1. Okay, so day 1, and let me give some name, say so software demo, and press OK. Since we are going to write embedded C program, I have selected so GCC C executable project. So now it will take some time for creating this project, so few seconds, and it is asking us to select device. So as we know, inside SparkFire robot we have Atmega 16. So I'll type Atmega 16 here. So Atmega 16. So select Atmega 16, the first one. These are the supported tools for this Atmega 16. Press OK. It will take some time to load it, and this is the standard structure it will throw for the programmer. So let me remove these commands. Okay. Now In order to write a simple demo code, let me make use of the structure that we have discussed. This is the structure that we have discussed. So the first structure or the segment is writing header files. So I'll be writing header files here. So first step is I should write a macro called define f underscore CPU. So define f underscore CPU is a macro to specify the operating frequency of Atmega 16. In my earlier slides that the operating frequency of Atmega 16 is 7.3 megahertz. So here I'm defining that by using a macro that is define f underscore CPU. The exact value of operating frequency is 7372800. Okay. Then include AVR IO.h has all the standard input output devices and libraries under AVR. Then after this, I'll include the delay header file also. So include, you can see here as soon as I type include, the software itself is giving me some suggestions. So this is called IntelliSense, and this is the reason why we have opted for Atmel Studio IDE rather than AVR IDE, because it gives suggestions and makes programming slightly more convenient. So include, now I'll be typing util yeah, if the video is not visible, if you think it's not visible, you can zoom in the screen on your mobile phone, so you'll be able to see this. Anyways, we'll also be sharing the video of this particular session by evening, so you can go through it again, or if you want you can zoom in and see if it is not visible. So here I'll go to util. So this is the folder inside which we have delay header. So slash, and you can see it is giving me suggestions on what are the possible header files. So I'll select delay. Okay. So I'll select delay. Okay. So these are the three header files. Let me give the label for this on top. So first we are going to use header files. You can see we are done with header files. Next is pin configuration and initialization. So let me perform pin configuration and initialization. So let me consider say LED pin config and initialization. So here I'll write a function for LED pin configuration, and here I'll be specifying the ports. Okay, so I'm just giving some dummy ports. Here our focus is to understand the structure. Okay, so I'll write 0x10. Okay, and then initially say I'll reset it. Okay, performing say 0xf0. Okay. So these are just numbers that I'm writing. So I want you to understand the structure. Okay. So we are done with pin configuration and initialization. Now I'll be writing functions. Okay. So I'll be writing functions. I need to turn on and turn off LED. So I'll write a function for turning on LED. So LED underscore on is one of the functions. So one. So I'll write say a port C is equal to 0x10, and then another function for turning off LED. So void LED underscore off. Then I'll write port C is equal to port C, and with I need to so make this pin off. So I can write so 0xE F to make LED pin 1 off. Okay, so this is about LED on function, this is LED off function, and this is my main function. So here I'll first configure the pin configuration. This is the pin configuration function we have. So LED underscore pin config. I'll write this above while function. So here, let me write LED. So you can see the IntelliSense is giving me all the possible functions that are there. So I'll write LED underscore pin config. Okay, and inside while I will call LED on function. So LED on, and I'll turn on LED for some milliseconds, say 1000 milliseconds. For that I'll use the command underscore delay. So again, IntelliSense is giving me what are the standard commands, the commands that are already there, or the functions that are already there. Let me give 1000 milliseconds, which is equal to 1 second. So LED will be on for 1 second. Now I'll turn off LED. So by using this function, and I'll give a delay of say 1,000 milliseconds. Okay, so we are now done with our main program. So at this point of time, I want you to understand the structure that we have discussed. Okay, so we'll have header files. The header files is written here. Then we'll have pin configuration and initialization. So this will perform pin configuration and initialization. Then we'll have action functions. So we have LED on and LED off functions. Then we'll have main program. Okay, so here our focus is to understand the structure and the process. Each and every line of code will be explained in the other experiments that we are going to discuss, okay, in the days to come. So after writing the code, Control S, save, go to build and build solution. So as soon as you click on build solution, the compilation will start, and you can see there is no error. It says build 1 succeeded. Okay, if there is some error, it will give you error. For example, let me deliberately introduce an error. Instead of writing 0x f0, let me remove this 0x, and then so save and build. Now you can see it is giving me error. Okay, it is also telling me the line wherein we have error. So line number 10. So I have to go there and then make changes to modify to overcome this error. So this error has gone. Okay, so we are successful in compiling this. Once the compilation is done, as soon as the compilation is done, the IDE will automatically generate a X file, and that X file you can go to the folder wherein we had created this project. So here for downloading the X file to the microcontroller, as I've discussed in the earlier slides, we will be using AVR bootloader. So the microcontroller that we are discussing is Atmega 16, and I have connected SparkFire robot to my laptop. So if I click on COM port, it will show which are the possible COMs that I should be using. Okay, so if I remove my microcontroller USB cable, you can see COM5 has gone. Now when I connect my USB cable to my laptop, it is showing COM5. This is how you can figure out what is the COM or the COM port address you should be using. Now I'll browse. I will go to that particular folder wherein we have created this project, that is software demo, and inside this we have debug folder, and then here inside this we have software demo.x. Look at the timing, it is 11:53:27. So just now after the compilation of this code, this X file has been generated. So I'll open this, and now I'll be dumping this to my microcontroller. So I'll press program here, and if communication is proper, okay, if there is some communication error here, so I'll reset my microcontroller and I will try to download this again. If I'm successful in downloading, I'll be getting this message indicating that we have the code is dumped to the microcontroller and we are leaving the programming mode. Okay, so this is the typical flow that we will be following for writing and downloading the code to the microcontroller. The Video of other experiments will be shown in the subsequent days. This is the flow that we wanted you to show. Okay, so you'll be writing code in Atmel Studio. Once the compilation is done, X file will be generated in that particular folder, and then by using AVR bootloader, which is a programmer, we'll be dumping that X file onto our microcontroller. If we are able to successfully dump the code to microcontroller, we'll be getting this message indicating that the code is dumped and we are coming out of programming mode. Okay, so that's about the demo of the software tools. Okay. Now, lastly, we have quiz questions on all the examples that we have discussed. So I'll be displaying each of the questions for 30 seconds. I want answers from the audience. You can give your answers in the chat box. Okay, these are very simple questions. So take some time to think about it and please give your answers in the chat box. So first is, for port C, make upper nipple as input and lower nipple as output. What is the command that we should be typing in order to make port C upper nipple as input and lower nipple as output? Yes, what is the command? You can give your answers in the chat box. DD, yes, DD. Here we are not writing anything, we are just configuring it. Remember, for configuring the ports, we should be using DDR. So write the complete answer. DDRC is equal to, yes, we have some answers coming in. We have answers from all the, we want answers from all the participants, please. DDRC is equal to, yes, okay. So Deepika, Anjana, Shivsagar has given answers. Sunita, Sinchana, okay, Lasya, okay, good. So the answer is, I hope it is clear to everyone, it is DDRC is equal to 0x0F. Now, second question, make port B as output and write data 0101 to upper nipple and 1010 to lower nipple. So in order to accomplish these two objectives, we need to write two commands, isn't it? One to configure port B as output and another to write the data. So I need 2-line answers for this. So please give your answers. DDRB is equal to, what should be the answer? We need to make all the pins of port B as output. So DDRB is equal to, and port B is equal to, yes, we have answers from Prajwal, okay, Kavya, okay, Rakshit, Kavya MS, okay, Sunita, Sneha, okay, Kiran, Lasya, okay, Kusum, okay. DDRB is for configuring port B. What about writing the data to port B? Yes. So for configuring port B as output, we'll be writing DDRB is equal to 0xFF, and for writing the data, we'll be writing port B is equal to 0x5A. Okay, so many of you have given the right answers. Third question, make port B pins 7 to 4 as input, and is the first objective. Second is write data 1010 to lower nipple without disturbing upper nipple contents. So this is our objective. So we need answer for this. Again, there will be 2 lines answer, writing the data. Here, remember, we should not disturb upper nipple content. So this is the hint to use OR operation. So you can give your answers in the chat box. Okay, so DDRB is equal to, yes. So we have answers from Vishal, Brunda, Prajwal, Manjunath. Okay. We are continuously getting answers from the participants, same participants. We expect answers from other participants also, please. So Mohan, Nirmala has given the answer. Okay, so DDRB is for configuring. What about the command for writing the data? Yes, Sunita has given the answer. Yes, Priyanka, so Rohan. Okay, good. Okay, Rohan has given the answer for writing the data. What about configuring the port? Srikanth, okay, Rachana. Yes, that's right. So for configuring port B, pins 7 to 4 as input and 3 to 0 as output, we'll be writing DDRB is equal to 0x0F. And for writing this data 1010 to lower nibble without disturbing the upper nibble, we'll be writing port B is equal to port B R of 0A. Yes, that's correct. Moving on to next question, question 4. In question 4, you are supposed to make port C pins 7 to 4 as output and 3 to 0 as input. That is the first objective. Second objective is we need to continuously set and reset upper nibble without disturbing lower nibble contents. Currently, the contents of the lower nibble is 1010. So tell me two commands to set and reset. So here we will have 3-line code. First for configuring, second for setting the upper nibble, and third for resetting the upper nibble. A small hint is for setting the upper nibble, you can use OR operation. For resetting, you can use AND operation. So can we have answers? First is configuration. DDRC is equal to, yes, Yashaswini has given the answer. So configuration is correct. DDRC is equal to 0xF0, because upper nibble should be configured as output and lower nibble as input. Okay, that's right. Okay. Now give me the answers for making upper nibble as 1, for setting upper nibble contents as 1. Hint is you should use OR operation. So what should be the command for setting upper nibble contents as 1? Port C is equal to, yes, we have answers from Kavya, Branda, Satish, Sahana. Port C is equal to port C R of 0xF0. Yes, that's right. R of 0xF0. That will set the upper nibble. Very good. What about the next answer? How to reset the upper nibble? What is the answer to reset the upper nibble? Port C is equal to port C and of 0F. That's right. So by sending the command port C is equal to port C and of 0F, we will be able to reset it. So I hope all of you are clear with these concepts. For setting, we'll be using OR operation. For resetting, we will be using AND operation. Okay, so that's about the fourth question. The last question is also on the similar terms. So port D pins 7 to 4 must be input, 3 to 0 as output. Continuously set and reset lower nibble without disturbing upper nibble contents. The contents of upper nibble is 1110. Okay, so first tell me the answer for configuration. Port D. So DDR D is equal to 0x0F. That's right. Very good. So many of you are giving me the answer. Okay. Now tell me what is the command that we should give for set nibble contents. What is the command to set lower nibble contents without disturbing upper nibble contents? Port D is equal to port D R of port D is equal to port D R of 0F. That's right. So port D is equal to port D R of 0x0F. That will set the lower nibble. Okay. Now give me the answer for resetting the lower nibble without disturbing upper nibble. Give me the answer for resetting the lower nibble without disturbing the contents of upper nibble. A hint is for resetting, as I said, we'll be using AND operator. So port D is equal to, yes, so Brunda, Vishal, Okay, Karthik, okay, Sneha, Lasya, okay, port D is equal to port D and of F0x F0. That will ensure that the lower nipple contents are reset without disturbing upper nipple contents. Okay. So good, many of you are giving right answers. Very good. So that's it about today's quiz questions. We'll be sending the links for today's attendance and quiz. So kindly take the quiz and give your attendance along with the registration ID that we have given, so that we can compile everything and give you certificates on the last day.